of our full moon in Aquarius 2021 readings. Last night we went through Aries through the sign of Virgo. So we did Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. So if you are looking for the full moon readings for any of those first 6 signs, go back to my whole channel list. You'll see the video list and you will see that part 1 from last night. Tonight we are working on Libra through Pisces. So Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, these readings are for you. These are going to be all about the lunar cycles that are coming up on and around our full moon in Aquarius, which is actually tonight. This is also sometimes called the thunder moon or the buck moon, like the does and the bucks, the deer that are very active during this time of the year. So that is the moon that we are celebrating tonight. We actually have this coming up very quickly. I will bring up the astrology chart just for everyone's reference. We did go through this a little bit more in depth last night, so you will also find that on the previous video. But there is our sun. So happy birthday to all our Leos, all of our Leo folks. The sun has moved into the sign of Leo, and that is opposite, of course, our full moon in the sign of Aquarius this evening, which will actually be perfectly full in just about an hour and a half from now. 10:37 p.m. Eastern time is when that actually will hit. So we will still be doing these reads probably around the time we're doing the Aquarius reading. That's actually when we will see that full moon come into its full aspect. So this is a really intense full moon in my opinion, because it is in conjunction to both Saturn and Pluto, right? When things are 10 degrees or less apart from each other, that means they're in a conjunct aspect. And so that is certainly bringing through a lot of heavy emotions, wrapping up a lot of intense energies. And you may definitely this evening and over our weekend, be feeling a lot of that pressure, a lot of that intensity that's being driven within, because the moon is our subconscious energies. It's those more deep emotional areas of ourself and of our energy. And so when it is in conjunction or in aspect to something that's rather harsh and stern like Saturn, it can really bring up a lot of deep emotions, and it can really make you feel like you're judging yourself, sometimes unfairly. We also have Pluto sitting next to the moon, and Pluto, of course, is the ruler of Scorpio. That is a very deeply intense psychological planet. So I absolutely believe that with those two at play, we have a very intense full moon coming up for us. The other thing I will say as well about the Aquarius full moon is that the sign of Aquarius is the rebel, the radical, the revolutionary. You may feel like there's really something vibrating, getting going in the world at large, whether it's movements, protest, revolutions. Those things are coming up more and more to the surface, and we will certainly be feeling the rumblings of the mass consciousness during that time. The energy of Aquarius is also very much about the future, right? It's very much about the future. I think that we will be kind of mulling over our future and where we would like to go next with this full moon in Aquarius. And the big challenge here is to, plan for the future without getting too obsessed with it, without getting too worried or over analyzing or overthinking what the future will be, because it's very important to live in the moment. Sometimes Aquarians can really go to that extreme of only thinking about the future and what's coming next instead of staying grounded in the present. So that, to me, that's another little breakdown of the chart. Like I said, if you want even more about the astrology of the full moon in Aquarius, definitely check out the first video that we did last night, because that's going to have even more information in it. So guys, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate your energy and your time. And if you have not yet done so, absolutely hit that subscribe button, join the dragon family, and also give it that dragon claw up, click that like button, let me know you enjoy the content here. I do offer personal readings. I do offer, one-on-one sessions. So if you're interested in that, my email address is down below in the description box as well. So, and I will point out my card decks that I'm going to be using. I'm using the Moonology Oracle. I'm using the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Absolutely love this deck. And for our tarot part of the readings, I will be using the Modern Witch Tarot and the Everyday Tarot. Those are actually considered mini cards. They're smaller decks, so they're a little bit easier to lay over the cards I'm using. And for our affirmations, I am using this adorable little Making Magic deck. That is a favorite of mine. Very, very cool. Has some very strong, you know, symbols on it that are magical symbols that can be used towards your manifesting work. So let's go ahead and get started with burning some sage and some sweetgrass here, just to cleanse and clear our space as my sage goes jumping all overboard. I hope everyone's having a good full moon tonight. It's been real cloudy and rainy here, so I don't even know if I'll be able to see that big, beautiful full moon this evening or not. Normally I would, because it's actually hitting at a perfect time for the East Coast. The full moon will be completely full at its apex at 10:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, and I'm going to use a little bit of our tuning forks as always. Guys, it looks like my flying beetle or whatever the heck it is outside that window is back. He's really smacking against the glass there. It's pretty funny. Wipe my nose. Hey there, Gwen. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, happy full moon. Hope everyone is hanging in there. It's been intense vibrations. I was feeling it more yesterday than today, though. Hey there, Tasha. Good to see you. Yeah, it was more intense yesterday, I got to admit, for me. But you may feel it at different times. It just depends on who you are when you're going to notice those things. Some people sail through them without a lot of trouble, which is good, you know. It really depends on the sign of the moon and the aspect and where it's hitting your personal chart. Yeah, Raven, I don't know. I think they're fine, you know. He just really likes my candles and my lights here. He's just like, gimme. All right, so tonight, guys, we're going to be doing Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Yes, it was a doozy yesterday, Gwen. Oh my goodness. So if you are looking for the first 6 signs, which would be Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. We did all of those first 6 signs last night. So all of those full moon reads have been already done and posted up. So this is for our this is part two of the Aquarius full moon reads, and this is going to be Libra through Pisces tonight. So if you have any signs, whether your sun, your moon, your rising, Venus, other planets, or influences from those signs in your chart, you probably will feel these a little bit more. As always, take in mind that these are general readings. They will not resonate with everybody. As I always say, take what makes sense and leave the rest behind. And also, you know, if it makes sense, great, embrace it. If it doesn't make sense, throw it on out. You know, depending on your aspects, like I said, you know, there's a lot more at play than just your sun sign. So always check your whole chart. That's going to give you a lot more info. But for anybody that has an Aquarius moon or rising, I would say you're going to be feeling this one even stronger. I'm an Aquarius rising, so I can definitely attest that this full moon has been bringing quite a punch. It's very strong. So we are going to start out tonight with our beautiful Libras. Hope you're doing well, Libra. Hope you're doing great. This is your full moon in Aquarius reading for 2021. We're going to look at a past, present, future layout to see what those full moon cycles will be bringing in for you during the time of this particular full moon. The last full moon that we had was the full moon in Capricorn. So I can imagine, I know actually, because I have Libra friends, and I know that they were going through it over this past month, but I really feel like we're going from the square to the trine, which is very, very nice, Libra. Very, very big change up of energy. Last month was that very challenging square. This month brings through that very free-flowing and gifting kind of trine. So Libra, let's see what we have for you. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors, please show us what you have for our beautiful Libras, past, present, future, around this Aquarius full moon of 2021, please. Whatever they need to know for their highest and best. Wow, look at that. Oh, yeah. I do think things are coming very full circle for you. And like I said, this was a tough last cycle for Libra. This last full moon was not easy. We had that square to your sign. And with that full moon in Scorpio, it's time to release negativity in the immediate past. So over this last 30 days or so, it's been a real process of not just releasing negativity, but really taking a deep look, a deep, close look at your inner psyche, your inner emotions, your inner workings, because Scorpio is all about those things, and really, really doing a deep clearing and detox, not just surface level. This has been a deep dive over this last month's time for my Libras. So let's get a clarifier from Queen of the Moon on that. And beauty comes through. I love it because, you know, Libra, you are a sign that's ruled by Venus. And Libra is very much about the aesthetics of life, beauty, you know, improving the surroundings inside and out. So that to me is a very nice energy that comes through. It's like as you clear out that negativity, clear out that inner, you know, kind of the yuckiness, right? It's like there is a lot of beauty and a lot of clarity that comes through for you and really changes your mindset around yourself and the world. Right in the center, present energy of the Aquarius full moon. Look at that new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. That's why I feel that this is very much coming full circle from last month's Capricorn full moon. Let me tell you, because to me, it's like finally all this hard work, all this pressure, all that feeling of crisis and stress that you've been going through is finally starting to show up. It's like, okay, there was a reason for this. There was a reason I did all this and went through all these cycles and these hurdles and roadblocks. Oh my goodness. It's a nice feeling. It's like you're coming to the end of that really difficult time. And on top of that, we had the wolf moon, you know, and that's the full moon of January and Capricorn season. So let me tell you, to me, that's like this feeling of aloneness. Both of these have this very lonery, kind of isolated energy. And so Libra, even if you've had people helping you with certain aspects of your life or helping you with that work, it wasn't easy, and you felt alone a lot of the time going through this. And at the same time, I would also say that whatever victories you're celebrating during this full moon in Aquarius, it's like it's very self-satisfying. And you may kind of feel like, I have worked so hard at this, and I really feel like it's a victory for myself more than anyone else. Like, you really feel like this is you coming out very strongly on an individual level, which is interesting because Libras are usually so connected with others, right? Going into the immediate future, the next 28, 30-day cycle, as we wane from this full moon, we're going into new moon in Pisces energy, which I also find interesting because our next full moon that's coming up after this will be the Pisces full moon. So you may be really headed towards some big spiritual awakenings when that Pisces moon comes up. So meditate, contemplate, relax a little bit, Libra. I think a lot of you have worked so hard and you just need a little time for yourself. You really do. Let's get a clarifier on top of this card for you. Yeah, because you're walking from one state of being to the next. I think a lot of things are being unlocked for you as you go into this next month's time. It's really about realizing some things that have been, you know, a source of meditation, contemplation for a while, and it's really allowing you to go through to the next level of realizing things, of manifesting things. But I think you've already manifested quite a lot here, Libra. Let's get into some tarot for you. Yep. No, I feel like you've really come through some hard times, and I feel like this has really been a source, it's becoming a source of celebration, right? And you may have gone through this already. You might have already sort of celebrated this victory or the success with someone else or with your group of friends, whoever you've been working with. That may be something that you've either already just done or are about to do. Yep, and it could be with a Gemini or fellow air sign because we've got that Page of Swords. So very, very cool. I think this is also bringing in new information, new communication, new ways of seeing things. Going into the immediate present, on top of the Capricorn moon and that wolf moon, we have the Temperance card, Sagittarius energy. And so again, very much a balance. Always, Libra, it's important to balance. And I feel like this is, you know, 1 foot in the water of emotion and intuition and 1 foot on that solid earth of groundedness, balance. I just feel like you're really coming back to your center with this Aquarius full moon. I think it's very positive and very, very healing for you in a lot of ways, very satisfying. That's the feeling, that's the word that I really bring through, is like this sort of self-satisfaction. And the Queen of Cups, yeah, because, you know, Libra, there's a little more of that Scorpio energy too, you know, and I do feel that there's a lot of learning about emotional boundaries and keeping yourself safe. It really is. I think that you've learned through this process and are coming into a time where your emotional boundaries are so important. You're someone who's very helpful and very open to letting others in, but honestly, Libra, I feel like this is a time where you're kind of really learning and saying, you know what, I can't let just anyone into my world. I have to be very, very careful about who is allowed to access my deeper emotions and thoughts. Going into the future with this, We've got the Five of Wands on here on top of that Pisces, new moon, and the realization card. So I do feel like there's going to be a lot of activity. That's why you really need to have to balance between activity and rest. Five of Wands can be inner conflict or outer conflict. It can be dramas, encounters, confrontations with others. But I don't read that as a purely negative card. Some readers do, but I think the Five of Wands can be quite important. It can be those conflicts, and if they're not worth having, you are certainly allowed to walk away from those. But if they are important to have, if it's something that, you know, brings up those points of contact, sparks, all that kind of fiery energy, go ahead, get into it. Don't be afraid. I know Libras don't like to argue. They don't. They really don't. So you may choose to withdraw quite a bit from these because of the High Priestess on top of this, and you may go back into that more meditative state. I think there's going to be a lot of balance, Libra, over this next month's time between a lot of activity and a lot of time to yourself to just feel things out. Feel things out on an intuitive level, right? Bottom of the deck, we have Justice. There's your power card, Libra. So again, that emphasis on balance, righting wrongs, bringing good things out of negatives, and Five of Cups, right? So to me, it's like anything that you've been grieving, any loss that you've been mourning, any old disappointments, don't grieve them forever here because the Two of Cups are still standing behind you, right? There's still a lot that you can build on here, but I know y'all have been through it. This was not the easiest lunar cycle for a lot of us this last month. So I really feel like this is bringing you into some better times. Let's get an affirmation, please, for Libra. Achievement. I really do feel this, right? I feel like a lot of my Libras have really grown. You've achieved something, whether it's a personal goal, a financial goal. Those are what feels the strongest to me. Could be relationship goals as well. But it says winning the awards, the accolades, or the contracts, right? Finally getting that thing that you wanted. So Libra, I'm giving each one of these readings a title. So let's see, what will I name this one? Give me a second, I'll think it out. To me, this feels like personal achievement and success. It really does. Personal victories. Let's put that. Personal victories and success. That's what this reading feels like to me. That's what I'm going to call it. Personal victories and success for Libra. Very nice. It's actually funny how much I have a very good Libra friend, and some of this is like, oh yeah, I can't wait till she watches this reading because I'm like, this is so much what you've been experiencing. Hey there, Yu-Yi. Good to see you back in the chat. Good to see you too, Barb. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to be talking a whole lot with the chat while I do these because I really want to focus in on them. So while I'm actually doing the read, I'm not gonna chit chat too much at all. So are you doing okay, David? I hope you're doing okay out there. I know it's tough for the Capricorns. Frozen snake. I like that. Actually, I need to grab my moonlight too, because we're going to need that a little later. Grab that moonlight. That right there. All right. Hey, Kathleen H. It's been a minute since I've seen... Oh, you saw an otter and a bald eagle today. Very cool. Very powerful spirit animal energies there. Really nice. All right. Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's awesome, David. It's always great to commune with the critters. I just, you know, for me, that's a big deal. That's a big deal always, right? That's a big deal. Anytime I see my little critters out there, you know. Yeah, nice. Very nice. That sounds awesome. That sounds really awesome. All right, Scorpio. All right, my darling Scorpios. I hope you are doing great. I will tell you, Scorpio, that this is probably going to be one of the more challenging full moons. This is your full moon in Aquarius 2021 reading. And because this is a square to your sign, you may be feeling a little more pressure tonight and over this weekend than others, right? Aquarius is the sign that squares you and Taurus. So I would say both of you are more in line for a little bit more challenge, a little bit more friction, but this can also be those important sparks that help light us into action and get us going. So we are going to be looking at your lunar cycles. From full moon to full moon, that's about 28 to 30 days between those two. So we're going to look at a past, present, future layout to see what is going on with my Scorpios. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that Aquarius energy, see, that's going to be in that fourth house universally. So I would say anything to do with home and family dynamics could be coming up quite a bit, maybe to be cleared, maybe to be released. There's a lot of freedom and liberation that goes along with the sign of Aquarius. So dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, ancestors, please show us what you have for our beautiful Scorpios, anything that they need to know for their highest and best around this Aquarius full moon of 2021. Please show us Scorpio. I know it. I know it. Immediate past here, going out. This is what's being released. We have the full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. And so I would say that this last month, right, this is right in line with what we, experienced. It was the full moon in Capricorn, which was our last cycle. So it was really strong for you, Scorpio. Full moon in Capricorn is not a bad alignment for you, but I would say that you probably pushed harder, worked more, and really made more effort than ever. And I would say that it's paying off, right? Because it's like that end of that tough cycle, the end of having to work so darn hard and push so much has probably been sort of coming to an end. It's like you've been working through it. So let's get a clarifier on top of this card for Scorpio. And the super moon of attraction. Oh my goodness. So I feel for a lot of my Scorpios, you've been working very hard at something that you want a lot. Like you've really wanted to achieve something, especially in the work world and also by proxy into that home life, right? It's the balance between career and home, work and family. And I would also say that your emotions could have been running very, very high. The supermoon usually brings up our emotions to the surface and really exposes them very strongly, which usually my Scorpios, you try to play things a little close to the chest, but I think that this revealed quite a lot to yourself and maybe to others around you. And that could have been part of that difficult cycle completing as well. Right in the present energy of the Aquarius full moon, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. So Scorpio, I feel this feels fresh. It feels like a nice, fresh new energy because new moons always bring that in. And it feels very positive. It feels like even though, like I said, the full moon in Aquarius can sometimes bring the sparks and the pressure and the challenges, I feel like you're ready to meet any of those challenges that come up to the surface. And this is bringing a little bit of a lucky spark to your side as well. So let's clarify this one for you. Yes, the hot moon of extremes. And this again, this a little bit goes into that same energy as the supermoon because it's very strong emotions. And the hot moon, I believe that was our last moon. That was our last moon. So yeah, the Capricorn moon was the hot moon. Definitely brought the heat, I will say for sure. But to me, the key word on this card is all Scorpio. It's extremes. And Scorpio is a sign of extremes. You guys are very passionate. You're very black and white about things. You're very do or don't, love or hate. It's kind of all or nothing. And so you may be really learning to balance some of those extremes within yourself during this full moon. And you may as well also feel the extremes of emotion rising. Try to take those in stride. But I do feel as a result of this last month's moon cycle, like there were some really big, heavy, intense things that came to the surface, and you may still be processing through some of the lessons and some of the revelations that you've experienced over this last 20 to 30 days. Going into the future, the next 30-day cycle, interesting that we're building up to the full moon in Pisces. That's going to be our August full moon. And it says balance spirituality and practicality. There again are those two sides of yourself emerging here, Scorpio. And I think it's very interesting that you got the cards that go right in line with these particular full moons. Our passing full moon of Capricorn, that card came up for you. And going into the future of the full moon in Pisces, that card came up for you as well. So I just take that as confirmation that these full moons are even more intensely felt by you than a lot of others. Like these are really in line with you. Like you're really getting a lot out of these full moon cycles. I also think this full moon in Pisces will be very positive for you because it is going to be a trine. So building up to the full moon of August, I think you're going in a very good direction, but it very much is about balancing those intense inner emotions and capitalizing on those lucky moments that come your way, taking good advantage of those. And of course, using your fabulous willpower, Scorpio. Absolutely. There is the card of will. To me, that is like if you put your mind to it, you can make it happen. If you have the willpower, the focus, the drive, you can make those dreams happen. That card for some reason reminds me a little bit of the Nine of Cups, right? It's like that, you know, don't get complacent, don't get discouraged, keep going, keep applying the pressure, Scorpio. Keep going in the directions of your dreams and goals and dream big, right? Let's get some tarot on this read for you. Past, present, future, same lineup. This Pisces full moon is going to be super powered for you next month, Scorpio. I can say that right clear. So a lot of the difficult cycles that have come full circle in this immediate past for you have to do with this Eight of Swords, right? It's all about breaking through those barriers of your own beliefs, your own attitudes, your own feeling of limitation or self-doubt, not believing in yourself enough. This has been something you've really had to work to break through. Yeah, with the Page of Wands over top of this, and really embrace greater vitality, greater happiness, greater joy, and not worry so much about it, not take it so seriously, right? You know, because Scorpio, you can be so heavy. You're awesome, but you're a lot, you know, you're a lot. You're a lot of intensity. And this is really saying, you know, you got to break through those times that you beat up on yourself, doubt yourself, and really lighten the energy to be happier, to be more vibrant, to be more childlike. Sitting on top of this in the present energy, right? There's that Hanged Man. And so to me, you may not feel like you're completely done with all of your cycles, Scorpio. You may feel like, yeah, I've got a lot done, but there's still a lot to go, or I'm in kind of the middle of the cycle. I'm in that limbo. So it's time to release anything that no longer serves you. It's time to, you know, it's a card of sacrifice, the Hangman. It really is. It's about letting go of anything that you can't take along with you for the future of your journey. Many times it's releasing old ego-based, you know, thinking, old attitudes that are no longer helpful. Let's get a clarifier on this. It's very strong Pisces energy too, because it's Neptune. And allowing things to come to you and to develop very naturally and very organically. That's a big part of this too with the Three of Wands. Allowing those ships to come in, allowing things to come your way. To me, there is that belief, right? Because we do have that new moon in Sagittarius card. So it's like Scorpio, you got to believe in your own luck. You got to believe in a little bit of that. You can make all the effort in the world, but you know, you got to wait for that natural cycle to happen. And it will. It will. You know, you just got to let it come to you instead of chasing it down all the time. Don't worry it too much. Don't get into that energy. Going into the future, look at this. Full moon in Pisces, willpower card, and then we have the moon from the tarot, which is also our Pisces power card. So check it out. You know, Pisces, full moon, full moon. I could say that there's a lot of things you're building up to over this next 28, 30-day cycle as we build to that next full moon in Pisces. You have got a lot to do. And I think that your psychic and intuitive powers will be very strong as well. And if something feels right, act on it. If something doesn't feel right, don't act on it. I mean, it's kind of as simple as that for you right now. Some of this might feel a little confusing, and that's why it's important to tap into your intuition, because if something's mentally foggy, you're not going to be able to sort it out with the intellect. And the Wheel of Fortune. Excellent. Excellent. Yes. So I feel like you're going towards a better future here, but you got to trust and you've got to apply your willpower and your self-confidence when you need to on this. Very much. On the bottom, we've got the Hermit. Listen to yourself. Follow your own star. Do what is right for you. I wouldn't worry too much about what everyone else is saying. Do what's right for you. And we have the Ace of Swords as well. So I do feel like a lot of that confusion is going to get cut through, but you've really got to listen to yourself more than anything that's going on around outside of you. Great reading. I really feel like this Pisces full moon, you got a lot out of the full moon in Capricorn cycle last month, and you're going to get a lot out of this one as well. But boy, you're heading towards some really good stuff, Scorpio, for August. I feel that towards the end of August when we have that full moon in Pisces, that's going to be great. It's a power time for you. All right, let's get an affirmation, please, for Scorpio. And we got the achievement card for you too. Libra had this card, so you are joining them in that energy. Oh my goodness, go out and win the award, the accolades, or the contracts. Yeah, Scorpio, I feel that for you. I do. This is a good read. Oh my goodness. And this might sound a little cliche, but I'm going to call this reading the power of believing in yourself, because I feel like that's really where it starts for you. You know, because Scorpio, you are such a powerful sign. And when you believe in yourself and apply your will and motivation to things, there's nothing you can't do. The power of believing in yourself, Scorpio, for this Aquarius full moon. Goes a long way. It does. All right. Okay, Sagittarius, check it out. This is a good full moon for Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, this is your full moon in Aquarius 2021 reading. I would say that this is an excellent full moon for you because it is a sextile, which is a positive connection of opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity that opens up with that aspect in astrology. So this is actually going to highlight your third house universally. I think it also opens up lines of communication, gets your mind revved up, gets your, you know, self-expression revved up. It's easier for you to talk to others, easier for them to talk to you. And I think that it's excellent if you have any kind of, you know, vocation that deals with the written or spoken word. Excellent for that. So Sagittarius, we're going to do a past, present, future layout. If you've ever watched my full moon readings before, we are doing the same kind of layout for this. So we're going to be looking from full moon to full moon cycle. Those usually last about 28 to 30 days. And so we're just going to take a peek at what this full moon, past, present, future is bringing through for you. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors, please show us our beautiful Sagittarians what they need to see as we celebrate this full moon in Aquarius of 2021. Show us Sagittarius. Ooh. Wow, guys. All full moon cards. This is definitely getting turned up. So immediate past here, we have the full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. So Sagittarius, you may feel that as this last cycle, this last 28, 30 days cycle is wrapping up, that there is something that's finally reaching a conclusion. You finally got the solution or the closure or whatever it was that you needed to really move forward and let the past be in the past. You know, to me, the energy of Cancer is very sentimental. It's very nostalgic, very home-based. Not only that, but we just wrapped up Cancer season. So I think that's very positive for you as well. I feel like some kind of deep, either family or inner, you know, issue has either reached greater resolution, a greater understanding. You're headed in that direction at the very least. Let's get a clarifier here. Acceptance, yes. So wow, this could be, you know, a really nice time. That's a lot of times the things that we go through with family members is a lack of feeling accepted, right? Back and forth. And so there could be just a sense of greater acceptance. You know, just saying I'm going to be at peace with the things that I can't change and it's going to be okay, right? And maybe they've said that to you as well, if that was what you were needing to hear and feel. So that's a really great feeling. That feels excellent. And I love the fact that we're going into the energy of Leo now, because Leo is a fellow fire sign. So to me, this brings in some really positive energy, but you're wrapping up some things that you really needed. You needed some closure on, like and I feel like you've got it, or you're on the direction to getting it. Right in the center, present energy of tonight's Aquarius full moon, we have full moon in Pisces, another full moon energy coming out, and also another water sign. So I feel like this has been a very emotional cycle for my Sagittarians. You know, balancing spirituality and practicality as we wrap up the Aquarius full moon, of course. That leads us into getting ready for our next full moon, which will be in Pisces. So this could be really saying, you know, as you build up to this Pisces full moon, you really gain in power. You really gain in spiritual awareness and understanding. And it's really kind of integrating your spiritual practice into your everyday life. That's what that feels like too to me. Sagittarius is a very spiritual seeker, very strong spiritual seeking sign. And so when you start to be able to integrate all that spiritual understanding and practice into your everyday, you know, experience and challenges, it's really powerful. And it feels good, right? It just feels good. Oh, the pleasure card. It feels just like, I've got that, like that song, at last, my love has come along. And it may not be like a love that's come along, but I feel like there is that feeling of, at last, I feel better. At last, I feel like I've gone to this next level. At last, I'm just more at peace. More at peace. That's what that feels like to me. So going into the immediate future, look at that. We have the pure energy of the full moon, just the pure full moon card coming through. Surrender to the divine. This feels like a very, very spiritual track that you're on with these full moon cycles, especially if you feel them very strongly. That's beautiful. So let's get into a clarifier here. Just gives me that feeling that Sagittarius is just, you're getting balanced and you're more in that feeling of just being in the flow, just rolling with it, you know? There's that balance card on top of this. I love this card. It reminds me of Libra energy. It looks like the scales, you know? And it's an older woman, so it really has that feeling of wisdom that's come from experience, challenges that have really made you stronger and wiser. Helps you to understand. It's like, just go with it. Don't overthink. Don't overworry. Stay in a good place of balance. This is a great reading so far. Let's get some tarot on this for our Sagittarians, please. Wow, the Cancerian energy of this past month is like huge, huge. I really feel like for those of you who resonate with this reading, powerful. Look at that, the Chariot on top of this past cycle with that Cancer card, the acceptance. Chariot is, you know, the Cancer power card in the tarot. So I feel like, wow, I mean, something major for some of my Sagittarians, right? I mean, that's like, you've really moved forward on something. It could be an inner child issue, whether your family or parents are alive or passed on. Like, you are feeling this. You are feeling this in a very strong way. There's just that sense that, you know, there's been something that's come full circle with the family, with the home. For some of you, you might have moved from a home. Cancerian energy really focuses very much on the parents, but mostly on the mother, right? For some of y'all, it could be a, you know, father figure issue, but for more of you, I think it's going to be the mother, right? There's that mother energy. Whatever that means for you, whether it's stepping into more of a nurturing role that you've stepped into, maybe some of you have become mothers, right? And it also could be just forgiving and accepting your own mother, or own parental figures. That's like, something's going on with Sagittarius this last lunar cycle. It was a big deal. It was a really big deal to your inner progress, because the Chariot takes you forward, right? It takes you forward. It's like, it's time to, you know, it's time to get the closure, get the healing so that you can move on, right? So that you can keep progressing on your path. And a Queen of Swords. Ooh. So some of you cut out some negative stuff too. And it brought you back to balance, because the Queen of Swords is our Libra energy. I like it, right? I feel like this has really brought you back to balance, positive boundaries, whatever it is that you've learned through these family dynamics, whatever that's been healed. It's like, yes, I am no longer accepting any negative stuff. I'm moving forward in a better direction. I understand where I've come from, maybe why I am the way I am in some ways, maybe the reason my parents were the way they were, and now I'm good. I can move forward. Such a nice feeling. Going into the present energy. Look at this, right? Ace of Swords on top of this Pisces full moon and the pleasure card. That's clarity. That's victory, success, finally seeing through to the heart of the matter. So I feel like there's a lot of spirituality, but there's also a lot of clear seeing. A lot of clear seeing here. There really is. You know, to me, it's also getting that spiritual confirmation that you've needed. And on top of that, we have the Five of Cups. So I feel like in a lot of respects, you're finally clearly seeing to the heart of maybe what it was that was hurting you so much. You know, you might have been going through a cycle for a while, Sagittarius, where you felt like there's something that's hurting my heart. There's something that just, for some reason, I can't quite shake it. And it's keeping me a little sad. It's keeping me a little blue. But finally, I feel like you've got clarity on what that was. And it's a lot easier to get over it once you understand, oh, that's where that was coming from, right? That's interesting. All right, so going into the future, on top of that full moon card and the balance card, we do have our wonderful Four of Swords, because you probably are going to need a little rest. You need to balance between action and inaction. Take a little break, get a little time out. Be nice to yourself. Don't overthink, don't over worry. If you feel that kind of thing coming on, it's time to chill out, Sagittarius. Yeah, and be the Queen of Pentacles. That's right. Go outside and hang out with your flowers and your bunnies and your garden, right? Get grounded. Get stable. That's my little Capricorn queen. Yeah. So it's, if you feel like, you know, the emotions are heavy, too much coming on, get out in nature, ground yourself, get some peace around it. Don't let it overwhelm you. You got a lot of queens coming up into this reading. Queen of Cups, honoring those boundaries. Queen of Cups and Queen of Swords to me are just huge guardians of our personal boundaries, right? Queen of Swords says, take your negative energy somewhere else. Take those vampires and narcissists somewhere else, right? She doesn't put up with that. Queen of Cups is really emotional boundaries and protection, right? She knows. It's like she uses her intuition to really know who's right to let in and who's not. And look at this World card. Full circle. Absolutely. One door closing, another door opening. For a lot of my Sagittarians, I feel like this is a reading that's really saying there's been some major closures, some major resolutions and understandings. And now it's time for big, new, happier doors to open. This is such a good reading. I got like chills from it. This is a good one. Let's get an affirmation on this for Sagittarius, please. And the goddess energy. We did have a lot of queens. I tell you, there's something about that divine feminine coming through. So healing the feminine energy. Wow, Sagittarius. And we were talking about healing those mother figures, healing those feminine, those mother dynamics. Oh my goodness. Yes. So healing your feminine energy, your intuitive sense. Oh my goodness. So wow, Sagittarius, I'm going to call this powerful healing and resolutions. And very positive resolutions, might I add. I feel that. Powerful healing and resolutions there. You may really, I mean, this full moon, like you may feel like, yeah, I've let something major go. You've let something major go. Something big is healed inside you. And you may not exactly, you may not feel all of it right away at once. It's usually not like that. It's, it goes in stages, goes in cycles, but you'll feel it. You'll feel it over this next couple of months. That's what I, oh, this is a lot to unpack there. Oh, thank you, Harry's. I appreciate that donation, sweetheart. Very much. It's very kind of you. All right. A little bit of holy water. Let's get a little bit of selenite. Tap those cards. Because that was a lot, Saggy. They brought a lot to the table tonight. All right. Capricorn. How are my goats? Oh my gosh, Capricorn. We have been through a month. This is your full moon in Aquarius 2021 reading. And Capricorn, you've definitely been through it. The last full moon cycle that we are really wrapping the energy up of as we step into the full moon in Aquarius is that full moon in Capricorn. That was our last full moon. And let me tell you, I don't know if my other Capricorns felt that one, but it was kind of like a ton of bricks. It was a ton of bricks this last month. So I'm really looking forward to this as a Capricorn. I think it's going to lighten the energy up quite a bit. The full moon in Aquarius will be highlighting your universal second house of your chart, Capricorn, and that is the money house. Some of the Capricorns like is it's those resources, right? Manifestations, that's the Taurus house. So I would say that, you know, the Aquarius full moon really lights up your sense of how are you going to manifest those goals. You may be making or brainstorming new plans for business. Not surprising that that would bring that up for Capricorn. And it may really make you think of all new innovative ways, because Aquarius is very innovative. It's very much about the future. And you may be as well, you know, combining what you're doing with something to do with technology or putting maybe your business online, etc. That could be coming up very, very strongly. So let's see what we've got. We're going to pull a past, present, future reading for you, Capricorn. If you've ever seen my full moon readings before, you know how these work. We're going to use some lunar oracle and also some tarot to get your messages. And we're just going to start out, see what comes up. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, ancestors, please show us our beautiful Capricorns and what do they have coming up around this Aquarius full moon of 2021, past, present, and future. Please show us Capricorn. Wow, okay. Oh my word. Oh my gosh. My goats, we are feeling this one. Look at that. Immediate past. First card that comes out is the full moon in Capricorn. And that is what we were going through this last month. Was our full moon in Capricorn. Look at that. The end of a tough cycle approaches. And I really do feel that way about it. I feel like this has been such a kick in the goat rump that I'm so sick of it. And I'm really glad that it's coming to the end. But I think that you've learned some things. I think we all have. And so take the lessons. Take the lessons and leave the rest behind, Capricorn. This has not been the easiest month cycle. These full moons last about 28 to 30 days, you know, from full moon to full moon. Let's get a clarifier for this card. Oh my goodness, Cappies. This is going to be a hot reading. I already know it. Yeah, and it's going to feel so good to let this energy go. There's that pleasure card. It's release. It's turning it loose. Like I said, take the lessons and leave the rest. Let it just fly away. Just turn it loose. Turn it loose, Capricorn. Don't worry. Just don't worry about it, you know. You might be sitting there, and I know what Capricorns do, because I'm one. We do this thing where we just sit there and go, why was it so hard? And what was it? And we just overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just say, you know what? It was what it was. Let's move forward. Into the immediate energy of the Aquarius full moon. This card has actually been coming up a lot for a lot of our reads tonight, is that full moon in Pisces. Balance spirituality with practicality. And Capricorn, you know, the pure energy of Capricorn is not very prone to believing in things they can't see, not necessarily the most spiritual or emotional, right? I'm a very spiritual and emotional goat because I got a lot of Pisces, haha, in my chart. But, you know, the pure energy of Capricorn is a lot more practical, rational, you know, steady as she goes, show me the money, I believe it when I see it kind of energy, just the facts, right? And so to me, this is saying, you know, if you haven't had enough of that intuitive side brought into your life, it's time to incorporate that into your practical dreams and vision, and vice versa. If you've been relying too much on spirituality or intuition, bring a little more practicality into the balance. Full moon in Pisces is what we're building up to after this Aquarius full moon. So I do feel that, you know, in a lot of ways, this Aquarius full moon for you, Capricorn, is sort of this turning point. I really do. I feel like it's really this nice turning point where you've come out of some heavy energies, come out of some difficult times, and now you're heading in a much more gentle, positive direction. I will say Pisces is a very nice aspect to your sign as well. Pisces is a sextile to Capricorn, and so it does open up a lot of opportunities. Pay attention, not just with your practicality, not just with your logical mind, but also with your heart, also with your intuition. If something feels right, that might be an opportunity for you to work on. So let's get into a clarifier for this one. And there it is, our flower moon. What did I say? The Aquarius full moon aspects the Taurus house, and the flower moon is the full moon during Taurus time. So I feel, you know, Capricorn, this could be a time where you finally feel like, you know, and maybe for some of you, you know, money could have been really tight, business could have been slow. I know it's been that way for me. That's definitely, I can resonate with this. And I feel like these kind of cards are saying, you know, that's going to turn around. Things are going to improve. And even if they don't improve immediately, right? Because you've got to cultivate that garden. It doesn't just grow by itself overnight, right? But I feel like you're going to have the right instincts, the right intuitions when it comes to blossoming, when it comes to growing, when it comes to going beyond the here and now. So this is a beautiful read so far. Let's go into the immediate future. And we've got another Capricorn card. We got both the Capricorn cards, the full moon and the new moon. So I feel like some old cycle really came full circle going into this month ahead, the next 28, 30 days. Look at that. Your hard work is paying off. So you may feel like you've just been working, which is not unusual for Capricorn. And you might have felt for a long time like, where's the results? Where's the reward in all this? Am I just working for nothing? So I feel like over this next month cycle, I think things will turn up for a lot of us, which is good. And a lot of that hard work will feel like you can at least see the results. So let's get into a clarifier. And there it is. There it is. There's our thunder moon. On top of that, the card of change. So I feel like I'm going to just call it that this is going to be some positive changes that we've needed for a while. Interestingly enough, of course, our Aquarius moon that we're experiencing tonight is the thunder moon. So there you go. I feel like these energies are really carrying over and having a big impact on the rest of your month. So Capricorn, don't be afraid of change, right? I know that's not usually something Capricorns like. We're not big on change. We're not big on that kind of thing. We don't like surprises. We like planned out things. But this could say, be flexible, go with the flow, roll with what comes to you, because stay open-minded, because this could be really, really good for you. Changing it up, moving things around, being open to what comes next can be very, very good for you. Very good. Let's get into your tarot. We're just going to lay these out in the same layout pattern. We're going to do past, present, future. Just get a little deeper message on this. Very nice. Really nice. Oh my gosh. Immediate past, there's our King of Swords, our Aquarius energy. Oh my goodness. And yes, you may have been dealing with an Aquarius or someone with some Aquarius energy. I think this also speaks to the fact that your Saturn is in Aquarius right now, which is your ruling planet. I think that you've been strategizing a lot. I think that you've been, thinking about the future a lot, Capricorn, in this last month cycle. I really do. And the only negative to that could be that, you know, you've been overthinking it, right? You've been overthinking it. So it's like, again, there's that card of kind of release, let go of overthinking, overanalyzation, and just embrace the freedom that that card affords you instead. And Eight of Cups. So yes, I do feel like there is a leaving behind, absolutely, of something that's been very difficult, very challenging, something that hasn't been emotionally or spiritually fulfilling. That's that Eight of Cups. Really making the choice to free yourself from something that has not been good for you, something that has not brought you much joy or made you very happy, and continuing your journey, which of course Capricorn always does, because we got the Nine of Cups next. So look at that, Capricorn. I feel like, you know, you're letting go of something from this old moon cycle that's passing away. Eight of Cups, and then to the Nine of Cups. Because it's like, if you're leaving behind something that wasn't fulfilling, what are you leaving for? Something that is. Something that is fulfilling, Capricorn. So I would have a very strong feeling, Capricorn, over this, you know, tonight or over this weekend. This is a good time to really sort of, you know, write down what you're already grateful for. Write down what you would like to attract, what you would like to manifest, because the Nine of Cups speaks to what are your wishes, what are your goals, what are your dreams, what are the things that are going to make you happy. Yeah, and to me, it's letting go any feelings of sadness, overthinking, anxiety, stress. Ten of Swords. Let it go, Capricorn. Focus in on that. What would that feel like to not have that stress hanging on you? Yeah, or people that you may feel have betrayed you, people that haven't been honest, people that haven't dealt with you fairly. Ten of Swords is the end of a lot of challenging, stressful cycles. I feel like that's very much coming full circle with this full moon this weekend. Oh my goodness. Going into the future, on top of your hard work is paying off and the thunder moon of change, we have the Six of Wands. So I feel like, you know, it's changing for the better, because this is a card of recognized victory, success, personal achievements, and goals being recognized. I think it's going to turn around for you quite well. I really do. But this has not been an easy cycle. This has not been an easy cycle. I feel like the wheel is turning, though, with these kind of cards. But you've got to be open to the changes that come. Just be open to it, Capricorn. Because there could be still some shakeups to come over this month. But they might be very good ones. You might have thought, I'm going this way. And the universe says, no, you're going this way. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles. I do like this because, to me, that's Capricorn. We like anything that allows us to cultivate it. Slow and steady, growing the garden, taking care of the flowers, weeding the beds, you know. So be patient, be patient. You might really put some things into the ground that are going to really come up great for you in the future. I do feel like you've been fighting hard battle, Capricorn. I feel like you're tired. You know, you've been stressed. You've been through a lot with that Nine of Wands. No doubt, you know, this is a little bit of, you know, that frustration, that like wounded warrior energy. You know, you've been through it. You've been through it. You're a little bit battle scarred. But there is the star coming up. There's some more strong Aquarius energy, you know, and that is the Aquarius full moon we're celebrating tonight. So to me, star card, that's the hopes and dreams, wishes, the chance of all those things to be realized. Light at the end of the tunnel, right? Light at the end of the tunnel. Be kind to yourself. Oh my goodness, Capricorn. I can say that, you know, with all assuredness. We do beat ourselves up a good bit, kind of like Virgo does, you know, because we have this belief that we should always know better. We forget we're human too. We do. But hang in there. Hang in there, goats. Go in the direction of your dreams and be open. Be flexible. Be flexible to the way that's going to manifest. It may be a little bit different than what you thought. Let's get an affirmation for Capricorn, please. And the love charm comes out, Capricorn. So there might be some lucky love energy for you for this month coming up. Attract a love, a soulmate, or a life partner. So Capricorn, it ain't all work. It isn't all work. Some of it's some love, some of it's some passion. Very good. You may even meet somebody on the job or in the process of whatever it is you're doing. You know, Capricorns in their work, I swear. Oh my goodness, we just don't know when to stop. It's a thing. It's a total thing. And thank you for those donations. We had a couple come in while I was reading. Thank you for both of those. For Divine again, thanks again for that. And Carmela, thank you for that donation. Always appreciated. All right. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this Aquarius full moon because this last cycle has been very tough. Not just for the Capricorns, but for a lot of people. A lot of people. Let me give that one a title. What would I call this one? Oh my goodness. Capricorn. Oh, I would say stay focused on your hopes and dreams. Absolutely. Stay focused on your hopes and dreams, Capricorn. Your hopes and dreams for love, for business, just your personal life and peace and contentment, personal harmony, all of that. Yeah, stay focused on the good stuff. Keep moving. You're going in that direction. You're going in that direction, absolutely. I think you've left behind some attitudes and some energies and maybe even some people that were really dragging you down this last month. Absolutely. Wow. Wow, Capricorn. As you know, the last spirit animal readings we did for Capricorn felt that way too. Real strong personal boundaries being learned here. You know, you're not just letting any old person in. That's true. All right, let's get into our next sign. See what we got for Aquarius. You guys are stepping into the highlight seat. All right, so Aquarius, we're going to turn on the moonlight for you. There we go. There we go. So Aquarius, I hope you are doing awesome tonight. Tonight we are celebrating your full moon in your sign. So I always bring out the big glowing moonlight for whoever it is that is having that. I always do that in my individual readings. And we'll definitely am doing it tonight for you guys. So hope that this is an amazing full moon. Of course, it does highlight your first house universally, Aquarius. If you're like me and have an Aquarius rising, it's going to be doing that as well on a personal level. So very exciting to see what this will bring through for you. Keep in mind that these are general readings, Aquarius. They won't resonate with every one of you. Take what makes sense and leave the rest behind. And if this doesn't resonate with you, you may want to check the placements in the rest of your chart to see what else is going on in there. So let's see what we have. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians and ancestors, please show us what we have for our beautiful Aquarius folks for their very special full moon of 2021. Anything that they need to know or be made aware of for their highest good, please show us, Aquarius. And we are doing a past, present, future layout here tonight. This card has come up for almost every reading I've done tonight. Almost every single reading that I have done tonight, that was what has come up. We'll get to it. That's what's in the future. So, last month's cycle, past energy of the last month is nothing is yet set in stone, the mutable moon. So things have been very up, very down. I don't think Aquarius really likes the mutable energy as much because you're a fixed sign. You like to know that things are on track. You like to know that there's a plan going forward. And so this last month has been very up and down. Somebody might have really thrown a hitch in your plans, or you thought things were going one certain way, and then either your mind changed or their mind changed. But nothing was set in stone yet. So I think that there's a lot of flexibility around this, which is the positive thing I will say about this, is it's a little more flexible. There's room to grow. There's room to revise. There's room to adjust. Let's get a clarifier on this card for you. Supermoon of attraction. So I really do feel like a lot of emotions have come to the surface very recently here, Aquarius, right? You may have felt like your feelings, sensitivity, all of that really, heart on your sleeve could have been very strong, or you may have been dealing with people who are very emotional. Either way, this is kind of some intense energy to me, right? A lot of things coming to the surface that probably surprised you a little bit. In the immediate present energy of your full moon in Aquarius, we have the new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than to take. So I would say that right now, it's much more important to focus on the other than on yourself. If you're in a relationship, focus more on what they need than what you need, because that energy comes back to you. It really does. Virgo is a very giving sign. It's a very healing sign. So if something needs to be healed, if something needs to be soothed, it's a time for that. This weekend especially, but over this coming month, I think you'll be feeling that very strongly, is that it's important to be charitable, generous, and really, not putting yourself first every single time, right? It's like it's good to have that equal balance of give and take. So let's get into a clarifier here as well. Hunter moon of abundance. Yeah, because it's like this really feels like the good that you do comes back to you. It really is. It's like when you give something good to someone, something good comes back to you as well, right? The Hunter moon, the abundance moon. This is a beautiful energy. Really love that. And that Hunter moon, I believe that's in October. Yeah, that's in October. So October may be a really powerful month. You may be building up to that, Aquarius. You may really feel like there's something that comes back very full circle for you, kind of getting into that early autumn time. Going into the immediate future, we've got the full moon in Pisces. Like I said, this card has come up almost every reading we've done tonight. It's really important. And our next full moon is in Pisces. So I really feel that this is telling us that our next full moon cycle is going to be very empowering and very strong for a lot of us. Balancing spirituality and practicality. Capricorn had this card. I think everyone tonight just about has had this card. And so to me it's balancing logic, the intellect, which is very strong for Aquarius, along with your intuitive, sensitive, emotional side. Those two things have to work together, just like the two fish swimming in harmony, right? If it's too much of one and not enough of the other, then they're out of balance. So Aquarius, if you've been thinking too much and not feeling enough, or vice versa, it's time to bring that back into balance. Wow, let's get into, and I think that this next full moon is going to be powerful for you as well. Absolutely, because that is on the horizon for this next month. Yeah, and to me, that's the balance that you need to bring into your future plans, right? There's that assessing card, looking into the future, seeing what's on the horizon, and really making a plan for what's coming up next. Sorting out what you want to do, how you want to take care of it, how you want to approach it. But definitely bring in the balance of both the head and the heart. It's important to have them both weighing in, not just acting only with one, right? So let's get into your tarot. We're just going to deepen these messages up in the same layout, past, present, future. Wow, is there a lot of action and movement here, Aquarius? Holy goodness. Okay. A lot of movement, a lot of passion. Could have been some, almost like some very quick, maybe not super well thought out action over this last month. I just get a little of that feeling from this, because the Knight of Wands is Sagittarius, and it's kind of interesting. It's like it's very fast moving, doesn't always think about what it's saying or doing at the time. So I'm just saying, if you felt like somebody treated you not so nice, or somebody came on real strong, or was kind of rude, or kind of difficult, that would be where some of that's coming from. Or if something moved into your life very quickly or moved out of it very quickly, that could be there as well. Yeah, and it could have been surrounding a relationship because of our Two of Cups here, right? Very quick changes or reversals in love or in relationship. You might have thought, yeah, we're on track, we're going this way, and then boom, something just completely changed. Or someone, you know, for some of you, it could have been someone coming on really strong and then they were out of there just as quick. So take that as that resonates to you. But I feel like there's something regarding, you know, kind of a plan of action, or a focus towards a relationship connection. And then in the present, right now with this full moon, we've got the Eight of Wands, more Sagittarius energy. There could also be travel involved here. This could have been discussions of travel. Some of you could be in a long distance relationship, and so it could have been like, well, how are we going to work this out? Who's coming here? Who's going there? And that may be continuing to be a discussion that you're having with someone, because the Eight of Wands has a lot to do with travel. I think you're going to be very busy this month. I really do. I feel like this weekend and going into this next month, you're going to have a lot to do. A lot of things coming at you. You might feel a little overwhelmed. You might feel really, really busy, because the Eight of Wands can sometimes, it's good opportunities. Like, it's a very positive card. It brings through a lot of communication, a lot of movement, but sometimes it brings through that feeling of overwhelm because you've got so much on your plate that needs to be handled. And our Ace of Swords. I do feel like there will be clarity. There's a lot of clarity coming in with this full moon for you, Aquarius. To me, this is achievement. This is victory. It's success. If things have been confusing, I feel like this full moon is going to really kind of awaken some things in you. I always get a little feeling of Archangel Michael with the Ace of Swords, so I also feel like it's reminding you that you're protected and that you're safe. Cutting through negative cords, breaking negative habits or attitudes. It's a big part of that card too. Right into the future, guys. More Knight of Swords. Like I said, a lot of action. All these tarot cards, I feel like a lot of movement, a lot of action. And the Swords is your own energy. That's that air energy. It's very strong coming through. It really, really is. To me, that's a lot on your mind. You've got a lot to say. You've got a lot to communicate and to share. You may be feeling kind of nervous or anxious. If you're in a love situation, they might be feeling kind of nervous and anxious, but you got to talk. You got to talk here. Yeah, it's this huge breakthrough. Wow. Aquarius, you got to get out of your head. Got to get out of your head. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You got to believe in yourself. This is setting yourself free from self-imposed beliefs that usually have to do with thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I don't have what it takes, I can't do it, or just getting caught in your head, which is honestly a very common thing that happens to air signs. So this is really telling you, you gotta learn to communicate, even if you're nervous, even if it makes you a little anxious, you gotta learn to talk, because otherwise you're just gonna be stuck here. And nobody can set you free from this except you. That Ace of Swords is a self-imposed prison. It is not something someone else has done to you. It's your own stuff. It's your own stuff coming through, and you got to break through it. Got to break through it. So let's see what's on the bottom. We've got the Eight of Pentacles and the Hierophant. That is some good, practical, dedicated work. One day at a time. Don't give up. Do good work each day, Aquarius. And don't worry too much about the future of it. Just stay at it. Stay at what you're on at the moment. And the Hierophant to me is getting devoted, getting committed to something that's very important to you. Committed and devoted to yourself, to your work, to your relationship, all of that. Let's get a affirmation, please, for Aquarius. Yes, I think that, yeah, this is such a good sign of luck. Felix Felicitas, power symbol to create lucky serendipitous events. I do think that in spite of any of the stress you may be feeling, there's going to be some really great moments where you can truly connect, really make some breakthroughs. And I think the biggest challenge here for Aquarius is not to go back into those negative or self-berating patterns, because I feel like there's this huge breakthrough kind of coming through on this full moon for you. And the big challenge as the month unfolds ahead, the next 28 to 30 days, you know, we've got that Knight of Swords and the Eight of Swords, which really says, you know, you may start reverting and going back into your head and doing the same things that got you stuck in the first place. So you really want to be careful about that. Really monitor the actions of your mind. Don't let it run the show here, Aquarius. Step out of the worried mind or the self-doubt. That's really important here, because it's like I feel like there's this real energy of wanting to go forward, but sometimes you keep sticking yourself back into that self-imposed cage. This is a big learning curve here. It's a big learning curve. So, yes. Let's see. I'm going to call this Keep the Head and Heart in Balance, because that is what this is about. You have got to balance both the intellect and the intuition. Just all of one and not enough of the other is not going to work. Wow. All right, we are finishing up our evening with our last sign here. Let's tap these cards too. No, Gwen, I'm not. If people have paid for questions, then, you know, the next time I live stream, I will put them on the list if that's what they're after. Whenever I'm doing, you know, personal questions, I'll always put that in the title. These were just for the full moon reads. And honestly, guys, I'm exhausted. So I can't. As much as I would love to stay up, I just can't go for 4 hours straight. It's just too much for me, and I have to be. Ms. Hey, thank you so much for the donation, sweetheart. Yeah, it is. It's huge. It's huge right now for my Aquarians. Yeah, if you would make a list, Gwen, because I haven't been keeping up with the chat while I'm doing these. these were really meant to take the place of like the 12 individual, because I usually for my full moons I do 12 individual pre-recorded readings, but it's just a lot easier to get these done this way, this time, as time allows, because it's just, I've got so much going on. All right, Pisces, welcome, welcome. I hope you are doing great. This is your full moon in Aquarius 2021 reading. This is going to be all about the past, present, future energies that are coming in around our full moon in Aquarius. And we're going to see what's going on with you. Pisces, keep in mind these are general readings, so they will not resonate with every single one of you out there. Take what makes sense, leave the rest behind. And if this does not particularly resonate with you, you may want to check the placements of your personal chart to get even more messages out of some of the other readings. Pisces, I will say that this full moon may feel super sensitive, super emotionally charged, and really bring you into deep connection with your own self, because that full moon in Aquarius highlights the universal Pisces house for you. So it, to me, it could feel a little more intense. It could feel a little more emotional. You might really find that your thoughts are racing, the emotions are coming, the tears are flowing, any of that coming to the surface. If you experience that, it's not surprising, and you may be doing a lot of clearing work as well. You may be doing quite a lot of clearing. So let's get into your cards. We're doing a past, present, future with both our lunar oracle and the tarot. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors, please show us what you have for our beautiful Pisces folks, past, present, and future around this full moon in Aquarius of 2021. Please show us whatever they need to know for their best and highest good, please. Wow, I'm telling you, these reads have been intense. All of them have been really big, especially tonight. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because we're doing these right with the full moon, like the proper full moon aspect. But here we go, Pisces, immediate past, full moon in Sagittarius, look at the bigger picture. So to me, this last lunar cycle has really been encouraging you to, you know, see a little more expansively, think outside of the box, don't fence yourself in so much, allow yourself to be expansive, allow yourself to go a little further beyond than you have in the past. You know, it's not always easy. It's not always easy. You may have felt like it's a little bit like growing pains. You're really having to stretch and grow and embrace a lot of change over this last 30-day cycle. And look at that, just as I was talking about growth. Oh my goodness, look at this. Yes, with the waxing crescent. So I do feel that this last month cycle, Pisces, you've been growing a lot. You've been stretching beyond old boundaries. Oh my goodness, that's powerful. That's really powerful. Right in the center, look at this, coming through with the present energy of this full moon in Aquarius. We have got the pure full moon card, surrender to the divine. So Pisces, I feel like you really are in touch with the divine, with spirit, and you may, like I said, be feeling very, very emotionally vulnerable, very aware of those feelings coming to the surface, because we know those full moons bring a lot of feelings and sensations up. Let's see what we've got clarifying this. This is that go with the flow card. Yeah, because when you just go with the flow and surrender that need to know, or to know how things are going to unfold, it's so much more pleasing. It's so much easier to get into that energy. The card of pleasure here. It's like release, let it go. Let's just shake it out of your hands. It's like, don't try to hold on to something so hard, or try to figure out every little bit, little bitty detail. Don't worry about it too much here, Pisces, because this is a lot. You may feel a bit overwhelmed, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, sometimes the best thing to do is just let go, just release. Going into the immediate future, over this next month's cycle, we have the full moon in Capricorn, the end of a tough cycle approaching. So like I said, you know, it's funny, this card and the full moon in Pisces card came up a lot. They came up a lot this evening. And so I feel that, yeah, we're really in that balance between our spiritual life and our practical life. And we're also being told that a lot of these hard cycles are coming through, right? That's beautiful. So let's get a clarifier on top of that. And again, a card of surrender. A card of surrender and letting go. Yeah. Letting go of the difficulty, letting go of the pain, letting go of the hard struggles and the challenges. You know, sometimes when we're in that challenge, especially if it lasts for a long time, it can be hard to let that almost survivor energy go. I know what that's like when you're going through a really like kind of long-ranging crisis, and you're having to like be on all the time to handle that. And then once that's over, it takes some time to ramp down from it because like, oh, okay, I don't have to be in that place anymore. And so some of my Pisces might feel like you're doing that. Like that's how that feels to me. Not for all of you, of course, but for some of you, it's like you've been in that you turned up energy of having to really be hugely responsive and constantly on call and constantly responding to something difficult. And now it's like that's kind of coming to an end over this next month. And it's time to release some of that goes along with it, that response time. Also keep in mind, Pisces, our next full moon is in your sign. The full moon of late August is our very magical Pisces full moon. I would argue the Pisces full moon is the most magical of the full moons. It truly is. So let's get some tarot on this for you, Pisces. Let's deepen these messages up for you. Yeah. No, it's been a minute. Oh, Pisces. But I feel like, oh, whatever you guys have learned over this last month's time, no matter how good, bad, or ugly it's been, it has been powerful for you. Look at what's sitting on top of our full moon Sagittarius, our card of growth. We've got the moon. The moon is your power card in the tarot. That's our Pisces card. So to me, when I see that coming in, yeah, things might have been a little confusing, a little hazy at times. You may have felt like, oh my gosh, I have no idea which end is up. But this is also really you stepping into your power. It's personal growth, personal awareness. I feel like you've really made a lot of strides. Even if you can't quite see it or feel it just yet, Pisces, I think you'll look back at this time of your life and go, wow, I am amazed at how strong I am. I'm amazed at how far I got. I'm amazed at how much I've grown. Oh my goodness. Very strong leveling up feeling here. A lot of learning. A lot of expanding beyond the old and the outdated. Five of Wands. No, it hasn't been easy. It's brought a lot of emotions up to the surface with this Five of Wands. There may have been a lot of conflicts, a lot of back and forth, a lot of sparks flying. Absolutely. And it might have been challenges that you have felt within yourself as well as without. But it's important. Five of Wands to me is another card of growth and movement and being encouraged to keep going. Yeah, because it lights a spark. It gets us fired up. It's like, oh, we can't just sit here. We got to do something about this. Here again, it's so time to surrender, guys. Pisces, especially the self-limiting doubts, fears, and thoughts. That's that Eight of Swords. Aquarius had this too. Those that self-limiting prison. That's when we get into our head and we start saying, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do it. Blah, 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 blah. Putting ourselves down. Making ourselves feel helpless. Making ourselves feel like there's nothing we can do. And so to me, this full moon is very much about breaking free of those self-imposed mental blockages and restrictions. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, sort of making a plan to come out of it. This to me gets into that balance because the Knight of Pentacles is a Virgo card. Virgo is your opposite sign, Pisces. So this may be that you really need to have some practical plans. That's going to help you to come out of this feeling of being stuck quite a lot. Because if you just kind of get rattling around with your thoughts, your emotions, it's like it doesn't afford you a practical way out. And that's kind of what I feel that you need. You might need an earth sign friend or someone that has that kind of earthy energy that could help you to sort of, you know, say, well, Pisces, don't let yourself get overwhelmed with this. Let's see what we can do. Let's take out, you know, a notepad and start writing down, you know, the steps that we can take to get to a better place, right? The Knight of Pentacles always has a plan. He is a little slower than the rest of the knights, but he is the most successful, the absolute most successful, because he comes the most prepared into the journey. So I think it really is a matter of that. And it may be just you yourself doing that, right? And writing down a plan, but this also could be somebody very helpful coming in and saying, Pisces, let me help you. Ultimately, you're the one that gets you unstuck, though, Pisces. It's you that changes the inner dialogue or the inner narrative that you tell yourself about yourself. So we have got in the future, look at this, the end of a tough cycle approaches, surrender, Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is the end of a difficult cycle. Very interesting that both of these have that message in a different way. To me, Ten of Swords is the end of worries. It's the end of anxieties, fears, betrayals, old painful relationships, anything that has just, it's like it brings a little bit of sadness, but mostly relief. It's like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God, that's over, right? Let's get a clarifier on the Ten of Swords for you. I think it's, you know, this next month ahead, you've got to release some of this painful old crap that has come full circle. It's not something you have to have in your life anymore. It's time to circulate it out. And the Hierophant, yeah, coming back to a grounded center. There's some Taurus energy, which is very nice. To me, the Hierophant's the high priest, right? It really gets into that center of spiritual inner knowing, spiritual understanding and awareness, being very grounded in that knowledge, and also being very devoted to yourself, to your path, sometimes to a relationship or your job, you know, and really staying the course, getting grounded. But it's definitely time to cycle out some of that heavy old energy, Pisces. It's time to release it. Yeah, and look at that. We got your next power card from the Major Arcana, which is the Hanged Man, or the Hanged One here, right? That's ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So that's why this is a power card for you as well. So to me, yeah, this is coming out of limbo. It's also that card of sacrifice. There's something you just got to turn it loose, Pisces. Whether it's, you know, negative self-doubts, something from the past that's been an old cycle or habit, it's time to release. Time to release. Two of Pentacles under here too. And so to me, that's getting back in a nice balance, into a nice flow, balancing your money, balancing the budget, getting a better handle on how to take care of that, and also just having a little more fun going into your everyday life and experience. Let's get an affirmation on this for Pisces, please. Prosperity, which is a big focus of this reading, I would say. There is a focus on that. That's a great power symbol for prosperity. You could literally write that down or draw that on your financial workbook. There you go. A prosperous business with riches and success. So Pisces, I feel like, you know, if you've got a helpful earth sign or earth type person in your life, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, they might really be reaching out to you with something good. It might really help you get back on track financially if that's a concern. Yeah. Powerful. And you know the Virgos can help because they know what it's like to struggle with that stuff. You know, Virgo and Pisces have a lot in common. Wow, these little critters. That's funny, Daisy. Can't stand a Virgo though. It depends. Some Virgos are awesome. Some of them will drive you up a wall because they worry a lot, you know. All right, guys. You like me, right? Gwen's a Virgo. Oh, that's so funny. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Oh, thank you for keeping me on track, Gwen. What would I do? See, look how Virgo helps. They keep you. Virgo, if there's a list involved, Virgo knows what to do. Okay, yeah, let me think about this. Oh, a title for Pisces. Changing self-doubt into prosperity. Yeah, that's what it is. Changing self-doubt and you know, into prosperity, into personal belief. Absolutely. Yeah. Excellent. All right, y'all. And yeah, Gwen, if there was anybody that was hoping to get a, because usually I have been doing that, I will do, if I've got energy tomorrow and time, I may just come on and do just a pure, you know, live stream for just personal questions because I know that's something that a lot of people really want, and it's good. It's always good to open up the chat for that. Okay. Is she the only one? Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe tomorrow night I'll jump on for a little bit of a live and open it up for personal questions, and I can just put her on there. Were you in the list, Tasha, for that? Yeah, so the next time I go on live, we'll just take those first. All the rest were love bombs. Well, thanks, everyone. I appreciate that. Oh, goodness. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm gonna take off. I've been doing a lot of work this week. I've got a lot coming up this next week too, and I've just been really tired. I've really been needing a lot of rest these days. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. But happy full moon to everyone. We just hit it. We just hit it. 10:37 p.m. We've just passed that time. So yeah, we're in the full moon for the next 24 hours. We're in it. All right, guys. Have a great night, everyone. Rest well, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Yeah, it is. Take care, David. Be well, everyone. And thanks so much to everyone who has been here tonight. Thanks for all the donations, guys. Thanks for interacting with each other. so nicely. I'm not sure, Marie. But if I don't go on tomorrow, whenever it is, whenever you jump in, because what I do if you're not here for the live tomorrow, I'll just bump it to the next one, and I'll probably be doing one of those either Sunday night or during the week. So don't worry, I'll always get you in whenever you're available. Yeah, it usually works out pretty easily. So if you're busy, no worries. If I'm on, if I'm not on, either way, we'll get you in as soon as you're back in there. Hey, Ms. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. I hope everything's going good. We'll talk soon. We will. Hey, Happy Girl, thanks for the donation. We're getting ready to wrap it up, but we'll be seeing you again. I'll definitely be on for Sunday night. Might be on tomorrow. Not quite sure. I'm just kind of wait and see if I've got the energy. Yes, and lots of bunny kisses. All right, everyone. Thank you so much again for your participation, your love, your energy, and I'll be seeing you again very soon. Take care.